Good morning and welcome to the live video. Today is another beautiful day, the first week of January. I hope that you're already having a very prosperous January. And in today's live, we're going to cover something that I think is so important that is being so overlooked. In fact, I predict that this one strategy could easily double your business. And in this video, I'm going to break down how. So in today's live video, we're going to talk about how live video streaming could completely change your business. And I'm going to break down the numbers specifically on how live video streaming could double your business within the next 12 months. And in the breakdown, we're just going to be focused on you hosting one monthly live video event. And we're also going to get into the numbers of how many people you would need at that event conservatively. Then we'll get into a second position where what could happen to your business with another number. And we're going to learn the one place where you have tremendous leverage to host that live video event every single month. And let's take a guess at where that could be. For those of you who know me, it's obviously LinkedIn. If you have no idea who I am, my name is Shanae Murray. I have almost 1 million followers on LinkedIn. I have 267,000 LinkedIn newsletter subscribers, and I have hosted hundreds of live events on LinkedIn, over 50 now on YouTube, 25 3 to 5 day challenges over the last 2 years. And what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's live is not just based on data that is proven, it's also based on lived experience. This is for you if you're a small business owner, you've been thinking about live video streaming, or you're honestly a little bit worried about how you're going to differentiate your personal brand, your content, your strategy to get more attention, especially as more of the big brands start to take hold of organic social media. And also, you're going to have to compete very soon with them deploying AI content at scale and also AI influencers. So you may be thinking to yourself, what could be the leverage point? What could be my blue ocean strategy for me to not just stay top of mind with the people who may already know, like, and trust me, but for me to get new eyeballs on my brand and really build a moat so that you don't become a commodity. And we're going to get into that. So I'm going to bring up my screen and we're going to go through the numbers here because they are pretty shocking. If you've ever gone live, if you've considered going live at some point or you're open to it, put live in the comments. I want to know who you are. I want to be able to connect with you. And that also provides you an opportunity to connect with other small business owners, entrepreneurs that are also willing to go live. So I'm going to share my screen. All right, so here we are. Double your business with live video streaming in 2026. And why LinkedIn specifically is an unfair advantage when executing this strategy. So the first data point here that is just so shocking that people ignore over and over again, which I really don't understand, is this one. Live streaming conversion rates are very high, between 10% and 30% conversion, compared with typical conversion rates of 1 to 3%. What does this mean? What is conversion, especially if you may not be, part of this marketing lingo thing? It's just how many people buy that land on a page or that watch a video or whatever. So usually if 100 people go to your landing page, watch a video, usually it's about a 1 to 3% conversion rate. So one person will buy the thing. With live video, you can up that. You could literally 10x that to 10 to 30%. Now there's nuances to this, right? And this is why it's so important to start now because of the blue ocean strategy that it is. Because your first live video, if you don't already have these skills, especially if you haven't taken video seriously for your business, for your personal brand up until this point, you're going to have to practice. But maybe in the beginning, you get no conversion. Then maybe after 3 months, it's 3%. Then after 6 months, it goes to 5%. Then after a year, you could be at that 10 to 30% conversion point. And a lot of this does come down to skill, practice, consistency, but it could be the most profitable and the most future-proof thing that you do for your business. And we're going to get into why. So just this stat alone should open your eyeballs, okay? In 2026, live video statistics, and if it doesn't, I'm not here to convince you. I'm just here to speak to the people that are willing to try and willing to start taking live videos seriously in 2026. If that's you, put a 2026 in the chat. So in 2026, live video statistics show massive growth in business conversion, with live stream sales projected to hit over $1 trillion. So the market is growing. And then high conversion rates, 9 to 30% for live shopping versus 1 to 5% for general video. So this isn't just even website. This is also comparing on-demand video, which is me just posting a video that I pre-recorded versus going on a live, okay? Audience demand. So not only do you have the potential to learn the skills where you can 10x your conversion rate, there's tremendous audience demand, and I predict that this will even grow more. And why is that? As more people start to post content that most people post content, most of the content is not very good. We may apply the 80-20 rule, but there's more and more content with AI because it's made it easier for people to post content. That doesn't necessarily mean that the content is good. So within the last year, we've seen that increase. You've probably seen more of your competitors posting more content more consistently. If that's you, put a 1 in the chat. And if that's the case, then the next step really for AI is a lot of the videos that you've seen on short form, as you scroll your feed, you're probably already seeing videos. Yes, you see some videos that are AI that you could tell they're done very poorly, or they're just not trying to hide the fact that they're AI. The second case is more fitting for what's probably going to happen within the next 12 months, which is you've probably already seen an AI video that you didn't believe was AI. And as that happens more and more, what's going to happen, think about it for your prospects, for your clients, is that, and for yourself, is that as you scroll, you're going to start to question. You're going to start to think, is this person real? Is this not? Is this AI? Is this fake? So a lot of the content that will be on the feed, the people will have a higher level of distrust, which means that the onus is on you. And this is so critical if you're a business owner, which means that the responsibility now falls on you to prove to that person that may be scrolling their feed, that may second guess that video, that you are in fact real, that you are in fact a human being, that you do in fact have the expertise that you say that you have, and that you can help them with the problem that you say that you could solve and get them the results that you vouch for, right? The way that they will be able to do that without having to directly go to a consult with you, which a lot of people won't do until you prove that you're real, is by proving you're a human through live video. And so because of the audience demand and because of the conversion rate, I mean, these 2 data points alone are enough, but really 84% of consumers want more video from brands in 2026, okay? They want more live video as well. And this is just showing in the data, like more people are spending more time on live. And this is proven through China, okay? So I think like social media platform timeshare has increased in China because of live shopping. Like people are online on social 25% more, okay? This trend will continue, especially as AI content continues to dominate their feed. Now, this is another big one, more timeshare to accelerate trust and build mindshare. People spend 8 times more watching live videos than on-demand videos. And this makes sense, right? This is, I believe, a lot of the reason why conversion rates increase is because I may have to consume 25 short videos of yours over the span of a month or 2 weeks to really get a full idea of your personality, your expertise, the different sides of you, whether I believe you or not, whether I trust you or not, whether I need your thing or not. That takes time because each of the times that I'm scrolling to watch your videos maybe 10 seconds, 5 seconds. And so you need me to come across you 10 times to even consume 1 minute of your content on average, like 50 seconds. If I'm watching each of your videos for 6 seconds, for example. People spend 8 times more time watching live, which means that instead of spending 6 seconds with you watching an on-demand short, they're spending a minute with you. And that could just, the better you get, the longer the average watch time. So you can go from a minute to 10 minutes, 2 minutes to 20 minutes, 3 minutes to 30 minutes. And that really starts to compound. People really get to see different sides of you. They get to interact with you. We'll get into all of that. This makes it perfect for building a relationship with your audience, perfect for keeping your audience warm and staying top of mind. The blue ocean opportunity for small business owners when it comes to going live monthly, weekly, eventually maybe daily, is just the writing is on the wall and it's proven in the numbers. So it's a strategy to hedge against AI and your competition, because your competition probably won't do it. And if and when they do it, they will underestimate the skill set required to master this thing. This is very different than taking something that you said in a video, putting it into a post, attaching an image, and deploying it. People can learn that system very quickly. They could outsource it, and they could kind of be present without being there at all. A lot of personal brands at this point are automated, and we'll see that a lot of the consumers will start to abandon those personal brands and start to go to the live streamers because they're going to want to seek that connection. But that aside, this is a skill that you really have to know what you're talking about. You have to have the ability to answer questions for the audience. You have to be committed. You can mess up. It requires courage. So a lot of the people just will opt out from the get-go, less competition from the jump. Then a lot of people don't necessarily have the personality or don't really care. So it's going to be a lot harder for them to hide, which they'll be found out through just the audience spending time with them. And really, like, the realest people that want the best for their audience, that show up the most, will be the ones who win. So it's something that is almost impossible to hack, so to speak. And so you have to involve yourself. And if I were you, again, I'd make sure that you start to master this skill now before your competition even gets wind of this. So it requires courage. Going live monthly and building up to weekly within the first 3 to 6 months is as powerful as if you would have started your personal brand 10 years ago. Okay. Gain a tremendous position of leverage and protection against being commoditized. We'll get to that towards the end, but you should be able to understand this by now. Okay, but let's break down the numbers. So 5.4 billion people are on social media, whatever platforms. About 540 million of those people post at all. About 54 million of those people post consistently. So that's about 1% of the 100%. Now let's talk about who goes live. About 16 to 27 million go live monthly. So you're already top 0.3 to 0.5% of all people on planet Earth on social media if you just go live monthly. We're not even talking about business owners, but you could apply that same rule. So you're 0.3 to 0.5 top percentage of small business owners, of your competitors or whatever, if you just go live monthly. If you go live weekly, that goes to a 0.05 to 0.1%. And then if you go live daily, it's just insane. And as with anything, the top 10% of live streamers get 90% of the attention and time share. But that's also because when you look at the top 10% of live streamers, they have put in hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of skill mastery. So they may blow up after 3 years of live streaming. And then they just have tremendous leverage up until that point. But the biggest data point that we're going to lean in on today is the conversion data point. So live streaming conversion rates are very high, like we said, between 10% and 30% compared with typical e-commerce conversion rates or people watching a video. As we saw, it was 1 to 5%. And again, when I'm talking about this, I'm talking from experience. So I've gone live over 100 times on LinkedIn, over 50 plus times on YouTube in the last 12 months, have hosted hundreds of webinars, have hosted 25 plus 3 to 5 day challenges. And as you can see, I'm live here now. And just personally in my own business, it has been the thing that has driven the highest quality. 99% of my inbound leads come from live video. Okay. It's the thing that has grown the email list. It's the thing that has led to personal brand loyalty and just like a great understanding of who I am, bar none. So again, this isn't just like theoretical. So let's run the numbers, and we'll run it for 2 different types of businesses. So the first business that we'll run it for is a business that has a landing page and they're selling $1,000 thing on the landing page. Okay. So let's say that you have a landing page and you get 1,000 visits to your page per month. At a 1% conversion rate, that means you get 10 sales per month. And let's say you sell a $1,000 thing on the page, that's $10K per month. And ideally, the visits from this page would come from organic social. I really believe that almost anyone on earth, as long as they post consistently, can get 1,000 visits to a page every single month. And I've seen it with clients over and over again. Now let's add a live video to that business model. So their baseline month is they're making 10K a month because they drive traffic to a page and they sell a $1,000 thing. And I'm being conservative with the numbers. Their conversion rate is 1%. If they hosted 1 live video event per month, and if only 50 people came to that live video event, we have to use the 10 to 30% conversion metric. So we'll keep it on the low end at 10%. So 5 people buy, that automatically puts them at 15K per month instead of 10K per month. This also does not include people from follow-up, people that will come to the next one because it's better timing and buy. This does not include the mind share and brand acceleration, because then one person that joined the live will share it with 3 to 5 people. And then one of those people will come to your next one and join. So there's a lot. This also doesn't include replay viewers. If you have a replay, I'm keeping it very simple and conservative. So 1 year before the live, this person was doing 120K in their business. And then 1 year with a monthly live video event could be 180K. Okay. And like I said here, this does not include retention. So this does not include keeping that client. Maybe they bought a $1,000 thing and then they buy a $10,000 thing after in 6 months. Maybe they buy a $1,000 thing and then they buy a $100 thing. Maybe they refer somebody. Maybe they share it with a friend, whatever. So let's do a more high ticket consulting example, especially if you're B2B, you're probably not selling a $1,000 thing. And you're probably not selling it directly where someone could buy on a landing page. You're probably wanting them to go to a consultation and then get on a call. But we'll apply the same math. So 1,000 visits to your website or landing page. Let's say you get 10 leads. So 10 people fill out a consultation form, and then you get on a call with 7 of them and you close 2 deals. Let's say that your deal is a 50K value, so you're at 100K per month with 2 deals a month. If you add a live event where 50 people join, you get 5 inbound calls, you close an additional deal. So you close 1 out of the 5. That's 150K per month now. And before the live, it was 1.2 million a year. With 1 live video event per month, it goes to 1.8. Now, again, I'm keeping the numbers conservative. I'm even keeping the sales numbers conservative because the quality of leads that you're going to get from a live, you should ideally close 2 out of 5 at least, sometimes 3 out of 5, depending on your skill set. Obviously, if you're better at sales, these numbers are going to look very different, but I'm trying to keep it as conservative as possible. Now, let's see what would happen if you hosted an event with 100 people per month. For each of these businesses, the business would double and very easily. So let's take the business that's 10K per month baseline. Instead of 50 people coming to a live, you get 100 people to come to a live and you host one a month. 10K or 10 buy at 1K. Mind you, the better you get, this will go from 10% to 12% to 15%, up to 30% or beyond. Sometimes it's even 33, 35%. But again, in the first 3, 6, 9, 12 months, you want to keep it conservative. So that's 10K baseline plus another 10K. You've doubled your business. Okay. This person was doing 120 per year prior. Now they're doing that plus a live video event every month. That's 240K. So the value of one monthly live video event for this business where 100 people would come would be $120,000 minimum. Now let's take the other business, 100K per month baseline, 100 person live, 10 inbound leads, close at least 2. Of course, again, it would probably be 4, to be honest, but we'll keep it conservative. And a lot of the B2B deals, the B2B consultants that I work with, they're not doing a 50K deal. They're doing a 100 to 250K deal. So these numbers can look very different. So that means that you're adding an additional 100K a month. And then before 1.2 million, after a monthly live video event, 2.4 million. So the value of one monthly live video event with 100 people for a high ticket B2B consultant, and usually they have tremendous advantage because they've been doing the thing for 20 plus years. They are true experts. They're confident in what it is that they're talking about. And they usually have a somewhat established network on LinkedIn. So in the first 6 months to the first year, they could easily just tap into people who already know, like, and trust them by just showing up more often. This makes the value of this monthly live video event at least 1.2 million. Put live in the chat right now if you understand how insane this is. And like, none of your competitors are doing it, which is even more insane. The best part is that you're at a tremendous advantage if you start to go live on LinkedIn. Now, I'm not telling you to not go live on YouTube or other platforms, but LinkedIn gives you a feature, like LinkedIn gives you the tools where it would almost be impossible for you to fail, especially if you're willing to commit to 12 months of practice. It would be impossible for you to just not get better, impossible for you to not grow your network month after month, and for you to not hit and really just like unlock exactly what you need to say on the live, who your audience is, what the offer is, how to get them on calls. It would really be your greatest advantage and the platform where you should definitely practice. And I'm going to explain why. So why? Because LinkedIn live events and because also LinkedIn newsletters. But first, let's go to the LinkedIn live event feature. So within LinkedIn, there's a feature called live video events. And every week, once you create a live video event, let's say I create one today and it's going to happen 4 weeks from today. Every week up until the event happens, I can invite 1,000 people from my network for free. So LinkedIn, through that event feature, will allow me to invite 1,000 of my first degree connections to the event. That is 4,000 people per month that I can invite to a monthly live video event for free. And what I've seen with hundreds of clients at this point is that when 4,000 people are invited, you will see at least 5 to 650 click attend. So some people will click not attend, some people will not see it, but you'll have at least 500 people that click attend. And it's usually more, 5 to 650. What happens then is that even before the live, you have a filtered warm lead list. Because if I do a live video event on LinkedIn and I say, CEO strategy to go live once a month, or live video strategy for CEOs, the people who are going to register and click attend are going to be people who want to learn how to start going live and who see themselves or are CEOs, founders, small business owners, presidents of their company, whatever. But they're not registering because they don't like the title or they don't resonate with it. So from even before the live, you get a list that's very valuable. And then you should have 70 to 100 people with those attendee numbers show up live. Now, this could be a little bit less or a little bit more. It depends on the topic and the warmth of your audience and when you do it. So there's nuances to this, but there within your first 3 to 4, there will be one that will be a massive outlier, and then you could learn from that data and just double down. Okay. Hundreds of guaranteed replay views, and you can increase the number of people that show up live by pushing the live video event through your LinkedIn newsletter. So what I love about this strategy and why it gives you the greatest chance of success is because you're tapping into a network that already know, likes, and trusts you, especially if you have an established LinkedIn network. You have a lot of those connections because you've actually met them in person and then connected or met them at networking events, whatever. A lot of those people are already warm. So when they start to see you live, they'll reach out and say, hey, I'm at this company now. Would love to bring you in. We need your expertise, whatever. And that's how things start to move pretty quickly. But even outside of the event feature, what you can do to increase the number of people that show up and the number of people who attend is to market the live event through your LinkedIn newsletter. If you don't know what a LinkedIn newsletter is, it's a chance for all of your followers on LinkedIn to become subscribers. And then from that point, once they're a subscriber, every single time that you publish an article, it goes to their inbox on your behalf, but LinkedIn will send it to them. So you're not just reaching them on LinkedIn, you're reaching it through their inbox. And then from that point forward, about 50% of them should open with every edition that you publish, which should be weekly. And by the way, if you want to learn about all the details and nuances of this and how to really deploy this for your business with the newsletters, it's a lot. You can go to yougrow.club and register for the upcoming masterclass. I'm going to go through all of this there. So that's yougrow.club. Register, it's free. And we'll go through all of the details of this strategy, of the LinkedIn newsletters, of LinkedIn content, so on and so forth. But the point is that if, let's say, you have 300 subscribers, we'll keep it conservative. And to get 300 subscribers, all you would really need is 2,000 to 3,000 followers. A recent client of mine, she has 2,400 followers. She already has more than 300 subscribers. So that means that 150 people every single week guaranteed are going to open your article edition in their inbox. And then a percentage of those people will register and go to the live. So that just compounds everything. That also does not include yet even posting about it on the LinkedIn feed or other social media platforms, or leveraging your private email list if you have one, which we won't even go there today. And if, let's say that you're somebody that's like, hey, that's great, but I don't have 4,000 connections on LinkedIn yet. It's still a great place to start because it's very possible to get to the 4,000 within 90 days by just posting daily. So you want to post images with text posts, with video clips, and all you need really is 1 to 2 outliers within those 90 days, and you should get to the 4,000. The thing is that people don't stay consistent. So they may be consistent for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and they fall off, and then they have to start again. That's not what I mean by 90 days. I mean 90 days consecutively, not 90 days in a year, all right? Content is also the only way to get to the 4,000 within 90 days, and it's the only way to get to the right 4,000. Because if you create content that will resonate with your ideal client, with the dream clients that you want to attract, then they will be the ones who will connect with you. And then they will be the ones who you will have the ability to invite to your future live video events. If you, what people misunderstand about just posting cat videos and stuff that may get engagement or likes is that they're not being strategic, because a lot of those connections will not be the right connections to invite to your events, and they won't be the ones to buy. They won't fall into that 10 to 30% that are going to convert. So if your goal is to actually grow your revenue, grow your sales, grow your profitability, and attract your dream clients on LinkedIn, you have to create content that resonates with them from multiple different angles. Again, we'll get into this in the masterclass. I'm getting long-winded, but it's the only lever that you really have, because if not, you're limited to just sending 100 to 150 connection requests to other people every single week. And also, if you don't create content, they don't know that you're real. A lot of the messages that people send when they connect are just ridiculous, and your acceptance rate is probably less than 40%. So that means that you're connecting with 60 people a week, which it's going to take you 1,000,000 years to get to 4,000 people if you don't create content. This also, the benefits of this and everything that I'm talking about does not include other benefits that starting to go live on LinkedIn will give you. And just starting to go live consistently for your personal brand in general. So number one, it'll give you leverage against AI content. You're proving you're a real human being. When someone on the live asks a question and you're able to answer it with depth, with nuance, you prove that you're an expert. And your competitors aren't doing it, or are unwilling to do it, or don't even know that it's a real thing yet. Just like they underestimated personal branding 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Now everyone wants to build a personal brand, but the people who were the first movers get tremendous advantage. Same thing with this. Increase in engagement. A lot of people that, especially small business owners, especially people that start to post on LinkedIn, because a lot of the decision makers will be less likely to engage on LinkedIn because they know that their activity is public. They'll come to me and they'll say, I'm not getting any engagement on LinkedIn. Well, one of the sure ways to increase engagement is to go live. And this is, again, just proven by data. LinkedIn live video sees dramatically higher interaction, up to 7 times more reactions, and 24 times more comments than native non-live video. Learning from your community. For example, they will tell you what they want more of. They'll ask questions. And if you see a pattern of those questions, you can gather those insights for other content, or you can create products around those insights. So when I see that I go live, I talk about something and I'm getting like a flurry of questions, or a lot of people wanted that one call to action and they're even emailing support to try to find it. I'm like, oh, that's a signal. That's a high need. We need to create more content about this, and we need to create a product or an offer around this to help people. And so there's a lot of that people really underestimate, and that you really won't get just from on-demand data. Increasing content that you can scale because your output is more, and then that can be clipped up and posted on LinkedIn and other social media platforms. So think about it. If you do a short video or even a longer video that's like 10 minutes, okay, now you have 10 minutes of content to produce. If you go live, you're probably going to go more in depth. It'll be around 30 minutes and you get it done. Even if it's not perfect, you get it done. You do that 4 times a month, or even let's just say once a month. You do that once a month, that's 30 minutes of content that you otherwise probably would have taken hours and hours and hours to produce, because you wanted it to be perfect, because you needed it to send it off to editors to make it perfect, versus just talking about what you know. I mean, I've messed up here and there in this video. I still mess up. I still get nervous. I was nervous in the beginning of this live video, but you get over it, you get it done, and you'd be surprised how much you help people just by being human and by putting the information out there. We have this we have this misconception that perfection is better. And that's just not what's been proven in the data, especially now. If you look at all of the live streaming data, I mean, the biggest live streamers can't go out even in public. They get swarmed even more so than some of the biggest A-list celebrities that you've seen growing up. They will get swarmed by hundreds of people. And when they do meet people, there's like their audience is just, their shoulders are dropped because they've spent so much more time with them, because they know them a lot more in a sense, right? They've seen them mess up. They've seen how they react to a tech problem. They've seen how they've answered questions. They've seen them on days they're tired. They've seen them on days that they have energy. And it's not just this facade of perfection. So I'm telling you, there's just a different level of audience loyalty, connection, and that's extremely powerful. The skill mastery you need to take it to other platforms, such as YouTube, after the first 3 to 6 months. So why it's critical to start now is that it may take you 3 to 6 months to get good, to start seeing that 10% to 30% conversion rate, but just do the numbers of how that could affect your business. The biggest mistake that I see people make with live video is that they think one event is going to completely change their life. They'll see some big creator do a launch, do 10 million, 100 million, 5 million. What they don't see are the years of failures before that launch, the hundreds of live streams, the practice, all of that creator had to go through to get there. And the difference is that creator was willing to do it. When I started to learn how to do webinars, I did 2 webinars a week for 18 months. I would do it on Tuesday and Saturday. And my webinars were not short. My webinars ran sometimes 2.5 hours long on average. I would do it if one person was on the webinar. I would do it if 100 people were on the webinar. And that's how I got to the point where now I could do a live and the conversion rate could go even beyond 30%. But that's because I've done years, I've done the reps, I've put in the years, and I've put in the time, and I've practiced. And I was willing to do it. And it took tremendous sacrifice. But I really, looking back, the 2 things that have changed my life and my business, number 1, 3 things. Number 1, starting to post on LinkedIn. Number 2, starting to post video on LinkedIn. Number 3, starting to master live video almost 3 years ago now. And I'm still not done mastering it. The point is that it's harder to go to something like YouTube, where it's like the big stage, right? And to deal with whatever negative comments may come from that, or to have the courage to go there without, like, I would have never had the courage to go to YouTube personally as an introvert had I not started on LinkedIn, had I not mastered long form live video on LinkedIn first. And again, there's just tremendous opportunity for this to be your blue ocean strategy to differentiate against your competitors on LinkedIn, because within the last 2 years, they've probably posted more content, more video content. And the next frontier is live video. And the beauty about this frontier is that people who are fake won't make it in this frontier. The real will automatically stand out. Humans are smart. They're going to be able to feel it. And so if you're someone who's real, who actually cares about your audience, who wants to share what you know, and who wants to give your business an unfair advantage, I highly, highly recommend that you start to master live video now. And that's what I have to say. And you're either going to do one of 2 things. You either start, you seize the opportunity, you see the blue ocean leverage, you see all the data that I showed you today, you start to seize it, you go through, the dirt, you fall on the concrete, you wipe your tears, you cry, but you master this skill. And then you realize 2 years from now that you're like, wow, that's the best thing I've ever done. Or it'll just be like personal branding for a lot of you, or social media for a lot of you, where you kind of were like, and then you got on the bandwagon too late, and you realized that had you been a first mover, had you started 3 years prior, you would have had tremendous leverage for your business. You would have had more protection against becoming a commodity, controlling price just through supply and demand. What this will give you is brand leverage. What brand leverage will give you is protection. And that protection comes through demand. The more demand you have, the more you can control your price, the more you future proof your business. So I hope this presentation was valuable for you. If you want to learn how to start mastering live video, highly recommend you go to ugrow.club, watch the masterclass, see for yourself if you like what I'm talking about, how all of the things come in together with LinkedIn, the LinkedIn content, the live video, the newsletters, see if it makes sense for you, and then make a decision to see if you want to work together. If you already know that you want to work together and you're like, listen, I just need to start, DM me on LinkedIn or email support@growthacademy.global, and have a beautiful day. Ciao. Oh, and I see some of you here. So I have my live videos scheduled for this month. I will be going live on LinkedIn on a monthly basis. Yeah. So it's funny. I got a text from a one-on-one client of mine. She was a one-on-one client of mine previously. We stayed in touch. And she sent me the video link of me talking about 6 ways to win on LinkedIn in 2026. And she's like, fine, I'll do it. I'll go live. I really understand it now. I'm going to go live once a month. And I'm like, what you don't know is that I'm going to release the video later this week. And I'm going to say that now it's once a week. I won't scare you with that yet, but it really is. If you're going to start going live monthly, within the first 6 months, it should be once a week. So let's say the first 3 months, you go live once a month. Then the next 3 months, you go live twice a month. Then it should become easier for you. You learn what your audience likes, what they resonate with, what will sell different offers. We won't even get into that territory today. What will grow your email list, what will drive people here or there. And the thing is that as you get better, the energy or the stress involved with doing the live decreases. It's like riding a bicycle. It was extremely scary the first time you get on. It's scary after the first few days a little bit, but then now we could all probably get on a bike. I went rollerblading the other day. I was like, I still got it. Okay. The muscle memory is there. And it was fun. But the point is that you want to increase. And the reason why you want to increase is you want to diversify the content. You want to increase the output of time. So that will take you from 30 minutes to 2 hours. And you may be in different moods, have different outfits on, different styles. We won't get into that today. It'll take me another hour to explain. But just know that you want to build up to weekly. I have my live videos scheduled for this month. I will be going live on LinkedIn on a monthly basis. Awesome. Evo, what's up? Hueda, what's up? Is going live simple and pretty intuitive? I have videos on my YouTube channel on how to go live. If you just search like how to go live Shanae Murray on YouTube, or you could just search how to go live within the channel. Or you can message me on LinkedIn if you don't know how to do that, and I'll send you a few videos. The technical part is simple, and you don't need a lot to do it. You just need your laptop. Like, think about it. You go live a lot, especially if you have like a child or a niece or a nephew. Like, these kids don't want to talk to you these days without seeing you. Like, I have a niece and she's going to be 1 and she has like a fit if she knows I'm on the phone and she can't see me, right? So you probably FaceTime a lot. That's live. You probably are on Zooms a lot. That's live video in a sense. You're just not doing a presentation. And so we have to understand that you're already doing live video. It's just a different frame of live video. Lala, I like how you shared your PowerPoint and presentation. Yeah, and sometimes I'm just riffing. So I'm going to do another presentation soon on the different types of lives that there are, because the reason also why you want to do weekly is you want to test different things. You don't always want to be talking about the same thing. There's probably at least 3 core things that you want to talk about. There's different styles that you will want to test. And it could be that one of the 4 is really the anchor when it comes to sales once you crack what that is. And then the other 3 really build trust, community, and diversify the content to pull people in and to build that trust. So, and to just teach people different things that you're excited about. So one style could be like a Gary Vee, Tea with Gary Vee, where he's doing a Q&A. That's also like the Dave Ramsey show style, is that it's a call-in show. They answer questions. Sometimes that's controlled. So sometimes they know the callers in advance and they screen them. Obviously, if you don't have a team, it's hard to do that. So maybe you do more Tea with Gary Vee style, how he did a few years ago, where he would just bring people on StreamYard or something. Or maybe answer questions that people have asked you throughout the week. Like I could do a Q&A style. I could have 100 questions that people asked me this week that would probably help other people. And I could just go through them and answer it. The other style is an interview, which I highly don't recommend I don't recommend interview style until you find the live video style that gets you sales. Once you find the live video style that could be the heartbeat of your business in terms of driving sales, driving conversion, then you could test with other styles. And usually the reason why interview style isn't that for a lot of people, unless they have evidence that it's done, it's fulfilled that function for them on other platforms, is that usually the spotlight is on who you're interviewing, right? And it's like weird to sell in the middle of an interview, and the spotlight just needs to be on them. So if you're always doing that, people don't really understand who it is that you are, your story. You need to stand on your own for a little bit before you start adding interviews. That's just what I've seen personally. The third style could be you have like a co-host. So let's say you have a co-founder. One of them could present some topics and then you riff back and forth. Like there's a lot of news lives like this, right? Where there'll be 2 co-hosts. One co-host will say something like, hey, we're going to talk about this topic. And then all of them have their points and stuff like that. There could be presentation style, like tutorial style, where I share my screen on how to do something with AI. I share my screen for a presentation. Other times I've just been like, hey, here's the 10 things to do on LinkedIn, or it's just like an inspirational thing where you're just riffing. If you are a great communicator, if you could riff like that, those lives could be the thing that works best for you. So it really depends, and you have to test. And the main thing is the messaging. Like, what can you share to prove your expertise related to what it is that you sell? And how can you prove within the presentation that you're the expert that you say that you are? If you're just sharing very superficial things that they've heard before that they could just Google, it doesn't really prove your expertise. It just proves that you know how to read. And I hate to say that, but that's the truth. And that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people's lives don't convert because the messaging is completely wrong. What they're sharing is not deep enough. They're not proving their expertise. And the connection between what they're sharing and their offer makes no sense, or is weak. I'm currently working on my live strategy. I've noticed that when I do go live, I've seen influx of LinkedIn connections and DMs. Yeah. I mean, it's proven in the data. It's like 7x more engagement. So when people are like, oh, I wish I had more engagement on my content, you don't have to wish. You could just start going live, but they won't do it. Because live really does require courage. It's not if you mess up, it's when you mess up. And it's how you handle that. And sometimes it could be embarrassing. Sometimes I choke on water. I'm like, sorry. Sometimes, anything could happen. The dogs bark. A kid walks in. It happens, but that's what makes it human, and you'll find your rhythm. And the thing is that I really am going to push towards 1 a week because your energy matters. And no matter what you do, all the marketing stuff in the world, if it just relies on one event a month, you better have the skills to perform in that one event, right? Because you're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket. And it's a great place to start, especially if you're an expert. But you do want to start to do two, then one a week. Because you really can't guarantee your flow, your energy. There are some live webinars, live video events that I've done where I thought it was going to be great, but I didn't click. It didn't happen. Then there are some that I highly underestimated that the attendee numbers were not even that great. And it will be like a top one, a top three in terms of sales. And you're just like, what? And it's just because you get in flow, it's the timing, and it's almost like a synchronicity between you and the audience. A lot of this also has to do with, and again, this is why the masterclass and putting everything together is so important, is with the warmth of your current audience already. If you just go live once a month and then never post and never have newsletters, when people do show up, they're not going to be as warm. They're not going to really know your takes or who you are compared to someone that goes to your monthly live and then also saw at least like 10 pieces of content. Or they may have not even read or listened to the content, but they saw you 30 times as they scrolled this month. And it's just a reminder that you exist and what you stand for. Oh, Shanae LinkedIn, Shanae AI, Shanae Live, Shanae Video. And that's just because you've probably seen 1,000 pieces of content by this point that correlates me to those things. And without those 1,000 pieces of content, maybe you'd be less willing to ask questions or comment on the live, and you just have your guard up a little bit more. Like I've gone to webinars and lives of strangers, and I have to just kind of sit back and see what's going on because I don't really know the creator yet. Versus creators that I've seen their on-demand content a lot. When I show up to live, I'm excited. And it could lead to one of two things. It could lead to, whoa, this person's even better than I thought when they're live. Like they're funnier than I thought, or they're smarter than I thought, or they're exactly how they are in their videos. Or it could lead the extreme opposite way. Like this person is nothing compared to their on-demand video, and it just falls completely flat. Or maybe they are mean or just cold and nasty, or and then you just get that vibe and it's not for you. And that's why live video is so revealing. So I hope that this was valuable for you. I think, at minimum, if your offer is 1K, it's at least worth $120,000. So Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. You're welcome. And I'll see you all in the masterclass. Ciao.